Hello everyone, welcome to KK's Art Studio. And today we're gonna take this blank piece of paper and turn it into Bob from Despicable Me. It's gonna be super easy and fun. Y también tenemos KK's Art Studio en español, donde enseño los mismos pasos. Come join me. All right, let's get started with Bob from Despicable Me. Might be one of my favorite minions, I'm not sure yet. They're all super cool, but I love him, he's so cute. So let's start. We're gonna start with his head, and we're gonna start with something that looks like a U or a rainbow. This is gonna be the top of his head. I'm gonna make a U, and I'm gonna continue, and I'm gonna go around here, and I might just turn my paper a little bit, just so I could see what I'm doing. I'm gonna come down, just like we did there. So there I have my U, and then from here I'm gonna draw two vertical lines, and then I'll stop at a certain point. So here's one. I'm gonna come down with a vertical line, and I'll stop somewhere here. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna make one vertical line here, and I'll try to stop at the same spot. And next, what we're gonna do, guys, or what you guys are gonna do as well, is we're gonna make like a little curve right here. So we can make a curve just like this. It's just a little curve, and I'm gonna do the same thing, or we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And then we can make another curve here, and this curve is super small as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna curve it just a little bit, just a tiny bit. This is kind of hard. Make a curve just like this, and then connect it to that point. So there's his body, and now we could just draw the details of his face. So what we could start it with is his big, round, cute eyes. So his eyes, he wears like goggles, so we could draw the outside of the goggles first. And what we could start with, so in the middle of where we drew this, we could make something that looks like the letter V. See how that looks like the letter V? Or an upside down triangle, kind of. And then we could just make a curve as if we were gonna make a circle to the side of his head. Make a curve. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So we could copy this, and then we're gonna come down here, and we're gonna make something that actually looks like a triangle. So I'm gonna come down, make a little point for myself. I'm gonna make something that looks like a triangle, and then I'm gonna make a curve that looks like a smiley face. So we made a curve to this side, and I'm gonna copy the same thing on this side. So there we have the outside of his goggles, and now we could draw the inside and where his eyeballs are gonna be. So I'm gonna draw a circle right in the middle of this, leaving just a little bit of space here. So there's one circle, and now we have his goggles. And we could do the same thing on this side. So now we have his goggles, they look so cool. And then we could draw his eyeballs. So his eyeballs are smaller circles inside of the goggles. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw it a little bit to the left. So I'm gonna draw a circle, it's small. And then this one, I'm gonna draw it to the right. There we have his eyeballs, and then we could draw his pupils, which is a smaller circle in the middle. And it's small. I'm gonna draw a small one like this. There we have one, and then I'll do the same thing on this side. And there we have his eyes. It looks so funny right now. But you could see it coming along. You guys are doing a great job, I already know it. So what we could do next, guys, is we could do his smile. And Bob's always happy, and he's always playful. So we're gonna do a big smile. So right in his middle of the eye, the middle of his eye, we could draw a little point so we know where we're gonna draw his mouth. I'll draw another one right here, and we could do a curve like a smiley face. So I'm gonna make a curve. That's the top of his smile, and then his mouth's gonna be open. So we're gonna draw a bigger smile. So we're gonna draw something that looks like the bottom of a boat, or just like a big smiley face. So we're gonna make a big curve, and then from this curve, we're gonna go skinnier to that point. So there we have his big, beautiful smile. And then we could draw the details of his mouth. So we could draw his tongue, and his tongue is gonna look like two hills. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna make one hill like this, like an upside down letter U, and then we could continue this one right next to it, to the bottom of his mouth. There we have his tongue. And then from there, we could draw his teeth. So his teeth are super tiny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a diagonal line that looks like a horizontal line on its side. And then I'm gonna go up with a small vertical line. And I'm right next to it, I'm gonna leave a little bit of space. I'm gonna do the same thing. And it's just gonna curve with his mouth. So I'm curving to the side just like this top curve is. And then I'm gonna go up with that little vertical line. Leave a little bit of space again. Continue. Go up with a vertical line. And then this is the last one. So there we have his teeth, the top of his teeth, and his big, beautiful smile. And then we could draw his overalls. So what we could do is, I'm gonna draw the suspender part of it first. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna draw a curve that stops somewhere like right here under his mouth. So I'm gonna draw a curve that comes down. And then from here, I'm gonna draw a diagonal line coming down to the right. And then I'm gonna copy this same curve. I'm just gonna leave a little bit of space. I'm gonna leave like that much space. And then I'm gonna draw that same curve just like this. These are like the suspenders of his overalls, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Those are the little straps of his overalls. The little details of the straps are 2 circles or 1 circle on each side. So I'm gonna draw a circle right here. They're like the buttons that connect the overalls, and I'm gonna do one right here as well. So now we have the straps of his overalls, and then we can continue with his actual overalls. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna draw a horizontal line, leaving a little bit of space. So I'm gonna start right here, a little bit higher from this line, and right here. And I'm just gonna draw a horizontal line right across, and it goes right under his mouth. So go here, draw a horizontal line just like this. That's the top of his overalls. And then we could draw the sides as it comes down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like it's right under here, and I'm gonna continue right here, right under the circles that we drew. So I'm gonna draw a vertical line that comes down, and then it curves to the side. Same thing here, a vertical line that comes down and it curves to the side. And then we could draw 2 curves that go up like a smiley face, and they're just little ones. These are details to his overalls as well. The other detail is the pocket in the middle. So we're gonna draw a curve just like the top of his smiley face. We're gonna draw a curve like this, and it's just right in the middle of his overalls. And then we're gonna draw a big smiley face, but this is really just his pocket. So we're just gonna draw a big curve that connects the points. And there we have his overalls, guys. So what we really have left are his hands, and they're gonna be waving at us. They're gonna be super high, his legs, and his shoes. So we could start with his legs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in on his body, and I'm gonna make a curve that goes down. This is gonna be his leg, and I'm gonna curve it down just like this. And I'm gonna do the same curve on this side, just facing the other way. And then right in the middle of his goggles, we could pretend we could come down. Right here, I'm gonna draw 1 vertical line going down, right where like I stopped his legs. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 2 curves that connect the points. 1 curve here, 1 curve here, and this is the bottom of his pants. There's 1 curve, and then I'm gonna do the other curve over here to connect this point to this point. So there we have his pants. And then from there, we could draw his shoes. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna draw a vertical line, leaving space in between. So I'm gonna draw a vertical line here, not continuing here, just a little bit more in. So what we could do, guys, we could draw 1 vertical line like this. Same thing here. We'll move over a little bit, and we'll draw another vertical line coming down. Then we'll draw the bottom of his shoe, which is a horizontal line, and it's really tiny, just like that. Do the same thing here, a horizontal line going to the left now. We're gonna go up diagonal, and then we could go up diagonal here, and then go down as if we were making a triangle on both sides. And then what we could do is from the pant, we could come in a little bit. We'll make a vertical line going down, tiny one. I'll do another tiny one on this side. And then all we have to do is make something that looks just like a boot, because that's what he wears. He wears boots. So I'm gonna continue this from the vertical line, make a curve that goes out for his shoe, and connect it there. There's one shoe, and I'll do the same thing on this side, and it's gonna face this way instead.
That's so cool.
And there we have his shoes. We're almost there, guys. All we have to do is now draw his arms, and his arms are gonna be up and waving at us because he's super happy. I love Bob. Bob is the coolest one, and I know you guys are doing a great job. We're almost there, and we're almost done. I just think Bob is so sweet. He's so friendly. Okay, so what we're gonna do is right under his straps of his overalls, we're gonna draw one diagonal line that goes up almost to his glasses. So right here, I'm gonna draw a diagonal line that goes up, just like this, and I'll stop right here, somewhere right in between his eye. And then we're gonna draw the other side of his arm, and it's gonna be right in between his overalls and the bottom of his goggles. So I'll start right here, and then I'll just draw another diagonal line that goes the same way. Just like this. There's one arm, and then I'm gonna copy the same thing on this side. And then from there we could draw his hands. He's wearing gloves, black gloves, and he only has 3 fingers, so it's gonna be super easy. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make a curve, like a smiley face, like a tiny smiley face, just like this, on both gloves. This is the bottom of his glove that goes like around his wrist, the part that goes right here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna curve in the ends, just like this. Curve it in just a little bit. And then from here we could draw the glove. So what I'm gonna do is from this curve, I'm gonna go up with a vertical line, just like that. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And I'll do the same thing on this glove. And then guys, we could do his little fingers. So I'm excited. So his fingers are gonna be like curves or loops. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out and make a curve, or I could actually just turn my paper so it's like a curve that's like this, and it's gonna look like a hill that goes up and then back down. So I'm gonna come up like a hill and then come right back down. And then right here, if I turn the paper again, I'm gonna make a little U that's like in between his fingers. And then I'm gonna turn it back this way, and I'm gonna make a hill that goes up and back down. And then guess what, guys? We're gonna make that same little U, just like this, just a little U. And then here, we're gonna make the hill that goes up, back down, and connects to his glove. So there we have one hand, or one glove. And I'll just fix this. I'll just add the lines back up. There's one glove, and then we could do the same thing with this glove. So I'll kind of walk through it again. So what we're gonna do, guys, if it makes it easy, we could turn our paper like this. And then we're gonna go up like a hill. And then right here, we're gonna make a little letter U. And then from here, guys, we're gonna make a hill that goes up, back down, make a letter U right here. And his last little finger, we're gonna make a hill that goes up and back down to his glove. And there we have Bob. And there's little details on his overalls, which are just little lines, and I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna do it on the straps, and then I'm gonna do it through his whole overalls, but they're just little horizontal lines that just border his overalls. They're stitches, like stitching. When you sew the overalls to make it, you just go like that. They're little tiny horizontal lines, and they're just little details, just like that. And then you could do it throughout all of his overalls. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So those are the little details, and that's it, guys. We have Bob, and I don't know if you guys could tell, some of my lines are shorter, some of my lines are longer. That doesn't really matter. But there we have Bob. I'm super excited. He came out so cute. So I want you to guys to grab whatever crayons, whatever markers, whatever color pencils you have, and let's see how magical it looks after. All right, guys, and there we have Bob from Despicable Me. He looks so cute. He looks super happy. I did the two tones on his eyes, the one that's green, the one that's brown, but there it is. And hopefully you guys found it easy. And stay tuned for more Despicable Me characters and other Disney characters. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.